Welcome back to Dropout Trades, everybody. It's Sunday, so you know what time it is. It's time to find our support and resistance levels on this week and to make our trading plans and trading setups. So in today's video, the ones that we're going to be watching is going to be SPY, Tesla, and Nvidia. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, first one up is going to be the SPY. Let's get into the support and resistance. We're going to start with the supports, then we'll get into the resistance. Okay, so first one up, 431s, 433s, 435s, 436, 437s, 438s, 442s, and obviously 444s, the big resistance levels over here, and 450s and 458s. Now let's see if we can make a trading plan. Let's go to a lower time frame. Let's get into it. All right, so let's see what we have over here. So 438s, I would most likely play. I like this support over here. Okay, it's not too strong, but it looks like a pretty good support. So as long as, again, market sentiment is good, I would probably play the calls over here. Where I would exit would be the next resistant line would be at around 441, I would say. I would most likely exit at 440 to 440.50. Okay. If it broke this 442, I would not play it. My big play, this is what I'm looking for, and I've been waiting for this for like the last week and a half, is for this to break the 444s. Okay, unfortunately I can't fit it in my screen right now, the higher time frames. I don't know why it's not letting me, but if it broke this 444s, I'm almost 100% sure it's going to get to the 449s, 450s, and maybe in the next few days after that, if it's still rallying, 456s. I have no doubt about it. This has been a pretty strong resistance level over here. Okay, so once it breaks that, it will definitely fly. Okay, but we do have to break it nicely with a closed candle. For the bottom, let's see, let's get into it. I would wait for the 436s. Once it breaks the 436s, I wouldn't play it that much far down. I would probably play it to 434s. The next support level is 433.85, so 434.50 even, just to be on the safe side. I do believe that if it's going to break this 434 to 433.80, we will see this 431 again and try to get back to the 429 levels. Alright, let's get into Tesla. That's my trading plan for this week on the SPY, but let's get into Tesla. Alright, Tesla. So this is going to be our support and resistance levels for this week. We're going to start with the supports, then we'll get into the resistance. Okay, so we have 264s, 269s, 274s, 279s, 284s, 287s, and 297s. Now let's get into a lower time frame as always and start making our trading plan and our trading setup for this week. Alright, so Tesla has obviously been on an uptrend for the last 2 weeks to a month. If you've been in the market, you clearly have seen it. Okay, now let's get into it. 274s, I would definitely play the calls over here as long as overall market sentiment is looking good and it's looking good that day. I would not exit at 279s, but I will keep a very tight stop loss if it gets to this level. Okay, if I'm still in that trade. Where I would exit would be 281s. If it does break that 284 after I already exited and took profit on my trade, then that's going to be another video where we break it down to see where it can go. For the downside though, if we break this 274, I want to see it around 272s. Okay, 272s, and I would most likely play all the way down to the 267, 268s. I would play all the way down to the 268s. That's a $4 move. That could be a very big payday. Other than that, not much on Tesla. That's about it. Let's get into the next one. All right, Nvidia. Let's get into it. So again, we're going to start with the supports and then get into the resistance. So we got 395s, we got 400s, 405s, 406s, 415s, 421s, 431s, 432, and 434s, 435s, and 439.90. So we can say 440s. Now let's go to a lower time frame again and let's get into the trading plan. All right, 431s probably would not play it. 435s though, that's where I would play puts on Nvidia. Now again, it depends on market sentiment and how it's looking that day. but this is when I'm most likely going to be playing 434.50s to 435s. The puts where I would exit would be at around 427s, 428, most likely 428 to be on the safe side. For the calls, most likely I would not play the calls until 405s. If it breaks this 405 and goes to 400s, I am almost 100% sure that we're going to see the 395s, maybe even 385s. Do I think that's going to happen this week? I don't, but everything is possible, especially we have CPI report this week. But I think it's going to be going between 405s to 410 to 440s this week. That's what I think is going to happen. If it breaks the 440s and keeps going up to the upside, that's going to be something in the next video that we're going to see, because it's a lot harder to say where it's going to go since this is at all-time highs right now. Now, this past week, I am down about $2,200 on my trading. Okay, if you watch my last video last Sunday, you can see that I said I don't have much idea where this week is going and any idea of like what direction. Felt it already a little bit before, but that's fine. I did have a crazy month last month, 37,000, and usually that's what happens after you have a great month. You have to take a little bit of a step back because you don't want to get too hyped up and start making mistakes. So that's why I downsized a lot of my trades. Came out a little bit on the red this week, but that's totally fine. This week we'll get them back. Stick around. I'm going to make update videos this week. Now, last month wasn't my biggest month ever. I've had bigger ones, but it was still pretty nice and big. So this is the number one tip I'm going to give you. As a trader, I think it's the biggest, most important thing as a trader to do and to know. You have to know yourself, and that's why I downsized a lot this week, because from the beginning of the week already, from Sunday, I just wasn't feeling the charts and wasn't feeling the market, and I just had this feeling, that I'm not really understanding what's going on this week for some reason. And that's why I downsized a lot, and I've barely taken any trades this week. This trade, I'm back at it. Let's get back into it. I hope you guys liked this video and you found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Stick around to see the updates this week. Let's go.